in the council all say they heard her threaten him, right? Then they bring in a surprise witness. Mistress Sanderholt had been persuaded to testify by the removal, get ready kids, of her fingernails with tongs.
Ew.
Fucking ow. Just ow. It's so bad. In the movie, what is it? Somebody gets tossed into a cell. Okay, I remember. It's Silence of the Lambs.
Oh.
So our girl gets tossed down into the well, and she's finally looking around because she has a little bit of light, and she sees the fingernails in the side of the well because the person had been trapped and like...
Isn't there a scene in The Grudge like that too?
I think, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because I hated that so
because
much.
Fingernails being ripped off is a very unpleasant and very uncomfortable and disgusting thing. Yeah. No, I'm sorry I'm saying it right now, but like, disgusting. And just, cringy. I'm sorry. We can move on.
See, that's worse, though, because the panic, like the idea
of
a person being so panicked that they would, like, rip their own fingernails off trying to get out of somewhere, that is terrifying. I hate it. Just so everyone knows.
And, I mean, what really sucks about this is that they had to do that to her, and then she talks anyways. Now, granted, this is under duress. She's playing under protest right now.
No, here in a second, Ranson says that she came forward all on her own.
Oh, well, if he said so, then it's gotta be true.
Despite her wounds, he asks her, and he's like, you just decided to do this all by yourself. And she goes, oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, that's one way to look at it. She is, however, reluctant to talk, but Kahlan reassures her that they both know the truth and commands her to tell them what they want to hear. Wink, wink. Hey, I'm winking at you.
Which kind of made Sanderholt smile a little bit, I think, just because she recognized the wording was like, hey, if somebody was recording this, they could go back and say, well, I only said what you wanted to hear. See?
Right. Or I think for me it was that Sanderholt knows Kahlan knows they're threatening her life so that she'll lie.
And I mean, everyone in the room kind of should, because it's very fucking obvious.
They should.
But whatever.
You know, but so to Mistress Sanderholt, that's important, because she does not want Kahlan to think that she, like, betrayed her.
Yeah, right.
So she's getting threatened with her fingernails. And Kahlan is like, hey, it's okay, dude. You don't need to make it worse on yourself. Just say what they want you to say. It's okay. Yeah. I know you didn't do this. And so she can, even though it's terrible, because she knows that Kahlan's not going to be, like, in the next life holding this against her.
Yeah, Sanderholt raised Kahlan, so she would hate to think that here at the end of her life, that she turned on her in some way and caused her death because of it. So I think, yeah, it meant a lot to her to know that Kahlan wasn't going to believe that of her.
And you raised a good point. We had talked about this in a previous episode. She is mother-like to Kahlan. Mm-hmm. So this is a very deep bond, and this has a lot of meaning for both of these people. If Kahlan had been fucked over by a parent, that would have some severe emotional trauma, much like what Zed needs, but isn't going to get from that, unfortunately. And Richard, had he been fucked over by a parent, that would have resulted in some severe psychological trauma. But Kahlan having this woman take care of her and then betray her when there's literally nobody else in the palace that she can trust would not only be the thing that kills her, but it would kill her in a way beforehand emotionally.
Her spirit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think...
I don't think that's something you come back from very easily.
And it's not even just somebody in this room, like the only person in this room who's actually on her side. It's like one of the only people in her entire life, other than Richard, who cared about her more than, like, passed the power.
Right.
And as a person, just cared. So, yeah, you're right.
Thank you. I'll take that as a win. But all in all, that was a very intense, like, and meaningful scene. I loved it and hated it all at the same time.
Yeah.
But it does make you burn. It makes you really just hate the Order.
Yeah.
So much.
Fuck you, Neville Ranson. But Sanderholt does say what they want to hear, and she tells them that Kahlan snuck up and slit Firen's throat. She saw the whole thing, and she definitely did this on her own. She's not saying this for any reason. Like, torture definitely didn't lead to this. Totally of her own volition. Ranson then declares Kahlan guilty of all charges and says she will be beheaded, but not for a few days, so that everybody far and wide can have time to come and watch.
To leer at her and be like, you're gonna die for a few days. It's basically like you do if you're a Bond villain or a Batman villain. You get him put away, and then you lord it over him for a little while. You don't want to kill him right away. You want to enjoy the moment.
Yeah, rub it in.
I'm just saying, historically, that does not work out well for people that do this.
Oh, it's very similar to the villain monologue at the end where they just want somebody to appreciate all their fucking plans.
Yeah.
And it ends up fucking them in the ass because the hero figures out a way to overcome the plan at the last minute because you were talking too much.
Exactly. And she's going to have a few days to think of something to get her out of there.
Well, at first, she thinks to use her power on Ranson before she even gets in the jail cell. And he tells her that he's going to strip her first of her power and its symbol, then her dignity, and third her life. So apparently he's planning on keeping her pretty busy for the next couple days.
And he's been planning this for a long time.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't on a whim this morning.
It sounded like he had something written down beforehand.
Yeah.
Like, you know what's going to happen to you? Damn it, where's my... Oh, I had my other vest on? Shit! Okay, well, I have the rough draft. I
had something for this.
I had something for this.
But he stops her from attacking him and somehow uses his magic to painfully remove hers, dropping her to her knees. This is something that confused me a little tiny bit.
I think... No, go ahead with what you were going to say, but I have a theory already queued up.
Well, I believe 2 separate times we've learned in this book that you can't be separated from your magic.
Right.
First, in the situation of Richard, like, that's the whole reason he had to go with the sisters, right? Because they couldn't just take the magic from him.
Right.
So he has to go learn to control it. That's why he has the Rod of Han. And then also, like, literally 2 chapters ago, or maybe it was even last chapter, we found out that Zed and Addie couldn't have their magic just removed.
Right.
It had to be, like, hidden. So...
Because how'd they do that?
Made him forget.
Right. So I don't think Kahlan's power, this is what I was going to say, I don't think Kahlan's power has been taken away.
Yeah.
I think Rancid did something to her brain to make her kind of, I don't know, to make her gift forget that it's connected to Kahlan, because Kahlan remembers it was there.
Yes.
She remembers she had power, she just can't remember how to do it.
I just feel like maybe as a reader, your first time through, you're not supposed to necessarily think that deep into it and realize that her power wasn't taken, but everything has been laid out for you very clearly so far.
Yeah, it's right there.
So, like, it's not a stretch of the imagination that you would know that this isn't accurate. Like, she's not actually without her power right now. She just thinks she is.
Right, but you go by it so fast.
Yeah.
That it's just
it's
like,
intense.
Shit, it's not working. Damn it. So she doesn't have power. And that's, like we were saying, it's the same with Zed and Addie right now. So, like, nobody has power. It's just going around, and you accept that Kahlan doesn't have anything. Or at least, look, we don't know for sure whether or not she actually does.
You have to accept it as it's presented.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're taking the ride, you're right there with her. But I think we're on to something.
I agree. So then he also draws Firen's sword and chops her hair off.
That's the worst, man. Using the dead guy's sword, which is poetic, I guess. But then we know that is a a serious drop in status for Kahlan.
Yes, it is a drop in status, but if somebody else cuts her hair, it doesn't hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it was just like a regular, really shitty haircut.
Yeah.
Also, though, it's very similar to the Mulan thing that she does when Mulan cuts her hair off with a sword. And I watched a lady on YouTube try to recreate that shit, and it's not that easy.
Did it go really bad?
I mean,
not like did she hurt herself.
She didn't hurt herself, but
unless the thing is super sharp, it's like you can't cut straight.
Right, and the amount of force you need, like, it's not as easy as Mulan makes it look. So
yeah, that's like a razor blade. Any sword or I guess knife in the movies, unless it's supposed to be somewhat dull, is sharp as shit. Like way above the grade of a knife that I would use on any given day.
I don't usually use knives unless I have to because I'm not very good at it.
That's bad luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, with like Mulan, she cuts her hair that way. It's just like right through.
Yep.
It was nothing. And I've never seen anybody do it. No, you know what I have? Opie from Sons of Anarchy. He cut his hair with a sword. It was very symbolic and very beautiful thing that he did. But yeah, it wasn't easy. And you do sit there and struggle with it for a minute.
And I'm sorry, but Neville Ranson is a little wizard boy, so I'm sure he doesn't have muscles like Richard does. So I'm sure it was a struggle for him, too, to get through all the hair.
Yeah, just to do it. And, Kahlan was like, well, I'm not going to fucking help you. But it must have made her nervous because the sword is that fucking close to her head.
Yeah.
Like, here, I'm just going to put my arm up right here so you don't accidentally slice my throat. Because apparently that's been going around from somebody.
Well, I mean, I might accidentally let him slip. Like, jump up a little bit. Be like, we're not fucking waiting for this shit.
Just get it done.
Yeah.
Oh, I fell over.
Oh, no.
I fell over again. How does this keep happening to me?
Well, Kahlan felt numb as they tied her hands behind her back and led her off through the palace, accompanied by loud cheering of everybody in the fucking room. No. She didn't pay any attention to where they were going until they got there. Ranson said now he's going to strip her of her dignity before kissing the same place on her neck that Darkin did and filling her mind with visions of her in the same position of those women in Abenicia. Now, the neck kiss thing, is that a Baneling thing?
It might be. I don't think we know for sure, but I think he did it in the same place to remind us that Darkin did it right there, so we can know that it's a bad, dirty thing. Like, obviously, this guy doesn't have any good intentions for Kahlan, but I think they compare it to Darkin for that reason. So it's a Darkin kiss, and they're like, ugh, gross. That's not good.
Okay, because, this guy is being controlled by the Sisters of the Dark, or at least he was told to come here by the Sisters of the Dark.
Right.
So it wouldn't be, a stretch of the imagination to think that he is also a Baneling, because, the Keeper's been doing all this shit.
I mean, I don't think you're wrong. I think it very well could be a Baneling thing. I just don't think we've been told that for sure yet.
Right.
So, yeah, you're probably right. But Ranson says he's like, look, I would rape you myself, but your honor disgusts me. And then he tosses her into a pit, which is odd because, okay, obviously I don't know what goes on in the mind of a rapist, but you would think there's something to do with, she is pure and honorable and good, and so he's gonna, wreck that? So now you're not good anymore. Ha! And I've ruined you. And there's probably something about that. As opposed to, you're so good, I can't, defile you, even though I hate you and I'm going to ruin your life anyways? What's the point?
I mean, I would think so. It's a weird thing where he's...
Not that I'm cheering him on or anything. Right. I didn't get it.
He just makes it sound like that would be a prize to her. I'm sorry I can't rape you. I know you would really love it if I raped you, but I'm not going to do that. And she's
You're too good for me.
Yeah.
Wait.
And she's going to be like, oh, Damn, I was really looking forward to that, so sorry that